Hello my lovelies, this is a video for one of my subscribers. This is an answer to one of my subscribers' questions, and that subscriber is Darlene Howell. So thank you so much for engaging with me. I really appreciated all your questions, and I really appreciated helping you out. So I just thought I'd do a really little impromptu video just to clarify some of the things, because other people might be thinking that. So Darlene asked me how to start quilting a panel, and so I basically gave her some instructions about how to anchor. So basically what I told her was to anchor the quilt, and I'm going to show you here. This is a quilt here that it's not a panel, but it is a little sample sort of quilt. This is a totally patch subscription quilt kit that I made. I think it's called Summer Blades. It's such a beautiful project. So basically, here we go, darling. This is what I mean. So yes, you do start in the middle. So you would have your panel and you would start in the middle and you would anchor your quilt so it won't squeeze up. So the first thing you want to do is anchor. And what I've done on this quilt is I've just basically followed all the sashing lines here and here, and of course straight across. So that has anchored it, and then I have basically just gone through and just, oh, let's get you in this shot, and just basically followed all the outlines. So just I think I've done in the ditch here. You can barely see it. I might go over that again because I'd like to see the quilting. Let me show you on a different one. Here we are. And as you can see, the quilting I have just done here. Now, you asked me about, is the back going to be messy? Well, it should reflect what you've put on the front. So it should look like this. And I haven't done the other side, which is what I'm going to do for you. And so you can see what I meant by cutting your thread and bringing it to the back, and then you might have to trim it. So the other thing I'd like to suggest to you is to get yourself a nice little slippy mat, because it's super useful for using for your quilt, because without it you really are doing too much work. And get yourself some gloves. So I'm just going to go and set up now for the other shot, and let's take it from there. So I'm just going to pop my gloves on, and I'm going to do the other side for you. Let's pop our machine on. I'm going to be using the walking foot. So let me close that door just in case my husband decides to come in and say, hey honey. I'm like, I'm filming, honey. Okay, so let me just put a better position so we can get a better positioning and you can see what is going on. Oops, there we are. Let's see, hopefully we can get a good shot. Let's get some light, camera, action. Can we see? Is that a good shot? Let's try there. Right, so I'm just going to lift my foot. I don't normally sew with a camera in the way. Oops, excuse me. So I've already done all the anchoring, so I'm just going to go and do the blades. So let's turn it the way I want it. Oops. I really want to make sure that you guys can see. Oops, I'm losing a blade. There we go. We're going to start like this. Can you see? Hopefully. Right, let's start. So I'm just basically going to follow the outline. I just want to get a bit more thread. Follow the outline. Oops. There we go. And let me just drop my needle. Perfect. So there we go. So I'm just going to follow the outline of that shape. Hopefully you can see it. Maybe if I hold my hands this way. Oh, are we still in shot? Yes, we are. Okay, let's go nice and slow. Okay. I'm using my walking foot and I'm just following the curve. It's not a race, so just take your time. And I'm just going to, one more, there we go. And I'm going to snip. Oh no, let me find another way of traveling. So I'm going to lift my foot and I'm going to come up. Because if you can try not to, let's get my quilt in a good situation. So if you cannot cut your threads, it's even better. So always try and find a route where you don't have to cut your threads. And I do want to make sure that you can see. Oh, can you see it? Hopefully. Yes, I think you can. All right, so let's go. Oh, let's go. Yes. And I'm just going to come up here. That is quite fast. I quite like to stitch very slowly. I like to have my foot all the way down. And what I'm doing is there's a little groove in between here, and I'm watching this side of the plate. I'm not watching the needle. It's a little bit too hypnotizing. Oh, that's a good speed. You should always feel in control of your project. So this is ending up being an anchoring because I've already gone down that side already. I think that's right. I'm going to cut my threads and I'm going to show you the back. So this is what we have done. Hopefully you can see that. Oh, is it close enough? There you go. And as you can see, that's the outline of the sun. And we're going to go from here. Now I want to show you the back. As you can see, that is what we have done. We've done that nice little curve right there. We brought it back up along the seam. And then we cut our threads. So where's that little thread gone? I can't see from here. Let me see if I can see it. Oh, it's cut it so well that it's not even, I can't even see it. So there's nothing to trim away there. So let's go for another blade. But this is the back when we started. You see? So now that is something you're going to have to clip away. If this was a quilt that was going to be worn and used and washed and used, I'd probably bury these threads. But because this is going to be a wall hanging, I'm just going to snip it. And that's what I mean by you're going to catch, they're going to be at the bottom, the back there. So let's do another one. Let's do all the blades. Oh, my needle's come undone. Let's thread the needle. Oh, I should have dropped my feet then. Never mind. All good. And underneath the foot. Okay. And then, of course, you've got the thread that started everything on top. And there we go. So let's go and do another blade. Lift that up. And I'm going to go travel down here. I'm going to do all the blades. Let's start. And I do want to see, oh, I do want to see the stitching. Let's make sure, no, it's too far over. I'm using my knee lift because it allows me to have two hands. I think I'm right about there. There we go. So now I'm just going to come right down here. Can we see? Yes, good. There we are. You can see it traveling. I just love using my walking foot. It's so relaxing. Now I do not have, because I have to tell you, my slippy mat, this thing here, it is not under my feed dogs. I have to tell you that, because if you do use it under the feed dogs while your feed dogs are up, it will chew it. So my feed dogs are up because I'm using my walking foot, and I've just put my slippy mat to the side. I'll show you when I take the project off. There we go. I'm going to cut the threads. I'm just going to position using my knee lift to lift that. Go to the next. I think I'm good. Perfect. And travel again down. It's been quite a while since I've done a video, and Darlene brought me back. She had so many questions, and I just thought, well, actually, it'd be so much easier just to do a video for her. And that was really enjoyable. So if any of you guys have got any questions or that I can help you with, if I can help you, I certainly will make a video, and hopefully that will help you. We've got 2 blades down, so I'm using my knee lift again. Going to move that, and down we go to the next one. Drop our needle. Oh, we're not quite there. About there. Perfect. There we are. Just take that, get that organized. It's so awkward with the camera in pretty much on your lap. So this is a Totally Patch subscription. I was on one of their subscriptions, and this was one of the monthly projects, and I really enjoyed being part of the subscription because it was always a surprise to what you would get. And I would never choose these colors. So that's why I love subscriptions, because it gets you out of your comfort zones. You wouldn't probably, the things that you would buy fabric wise, using my knee lift again. I think I'm fine now. I think, yeah, I'm going to, because I didn't quite start properly, so I'm just going to end that last bit of, where did it start? It started about there. See, is that right? Get over, there we go. I'm just going to come and finish that dial. I started a little bit too, I didn't start right at the beginning. I think that's right. I'm going to just tie off here. Now we're going to have a quick look at the back. Now before we look at the back, let me just show you what I was talking about with the slippy mat. So here it is. So you can see my feed dogs are open and up, and my slippy mat, which is, there's a hole, is to the side. It's not underneath the feed dogs, it's right to the side, which means that I can get all the slip without it traveling underneath the feed dogs, because as you can see, I did that. I forgot that I had it on with the feed dogs up, and it basically sewed it to the sewing machine. So let's get back to what we have just done, and I just want to show you all the little bits that comes up when you've it's very hard to see with the white thread. See if I can bring the light down a bit better. Right, these are all the blades that I have done. I hope you can see that. And as you can see, I tied the thread off with the thread cutter, and it leaves these little things. So let me take my gloves off. At the end of every block, I just trim these. I pull these quite tight and trim them off, because if you're doing a whole quilt, it could get quite a lot, but you're supposed to bury them, especially if you're going to be using the quilt. And as you can see, It's a perfect sort of sundial. Oh, got to cut that one as well. Let's move that up. Here we go. There we are. I think I've got every single one. And you should have the exact replica, some more pieces of thread, of what you stitched on the main side. So you've got the little sundial coming out. And I can see lots of these little threads that I need to catch and cut. I don't want to cut my stitches, so I'll probably do that one off camera when I can get right to it. But that's basically what the back of your quilt would look like. It should look like the replica of exactly how you stitched it from the back. From the front, sorry. Ah, there we go. So I hope you enjoyed this little impromptu video. Let me just lift my foot, pop it under for the next one. And if you are a subscriber and have got questions, oh, is that the front? Look at this. Look at that threads we've got going on here. Did I not tidy up that? Or is that me? Tidy as we go along. So beautiful. Really getting into quilting. Yep, there's another one there. It's hard with the white thread, but it's perfect. Once I finish quilting everything, I'm going to put a good hot iron on it, sink these stitches into the project, and it's going to be just perfect. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate all your support. People are subscribing, and I know I haven't done many videos. We just moved to a new house and I'm getting my sewing room ready. I do have some projects involved that I want to do for you. I lack confidence because I've got braces on and I don't want to be on camera. So I'm like, oh, don't want to be on camera, but I do want to bring you lots of stuff that I'm doing and share those with you. So I probably won't be on camera, but I certainly will do some videos for you guys. So once again, thank you so much for all your support. All the support you give Juliet Sewing Life and me. I really appreciate that, and all the love, and I'm sending it right back to you. So thank you so much. And if you have any questions as a subscriber for any kind of project, let me know. If I can help, I certainly will do that. Thanks guys. Bye.